So, welcome everyone, and thank you for attending this session of Yakamashii with our brand new microphones. I'm Kathy Collins. It is my great honor to be hosting this talk story series here at the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, and I'm doubly honored and pleased to have as my guest this time around the amazing Kirk Kurokawa. Kirk's been on our dream list for Yakamashii guest for quite some time, and he's a little shy, elusive, but we got him. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Thank you for having me.
I know it's not, it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, maybe.
Yes, I'm usually just in the studio by myself.
Yes. Although, when you were painting the mural out here, you met a lot of people because you were so gracious in telling the public that they were welcome to come by, and I know a lot of folks did stop in to watch the progress.
Yes, every day. Every day I was out there. People think I'm exaggerating, but it really was every day that I painted, which was pretty much every day. It was attended or someone stopped in, someone waved, or come and talk story for a little bit. It was really fun. That was my favorite part of it, really, was being able to talk to everyone that came by.
Like in an open studio
Yeah,
for more months. How long did it take from start to
I
finish?
forget already. Months. I had budgeted, I think like a month or two, and I think it ended up being eight months. But once I started that first panel, I kind of just decided that, I can't just rip right through this and feel like I did a good job. They all deserved, kind of as much as a full-size portrait. So I ended up taking my time and really trying to make everything feel as good as I could, given the elements and everything else. So I did take my time and really try to give every piece of that all the honor it deserved.
That's wonderful. You have other murals in Wailuku Town, but was the wall your biggest and or longest term project?
Yes. I think it's in terms of square footage, probably the biggest, and it for sure, as far as time wise, it was the longest one that it took me to paint. Um, but for me, really the most rewarding one too.
Oh, that's wonderful. You know, somebody had just commented to me earlier this week when I said, "Oh, Kirk Kurokawa is going to be my guest," and they mentioned that not only this wall but uh, the murals in Wailuku Town, they're amazed and really pleased that none of them have been tagged. You know,
Yeah,
with
me too.
graffiti.
I'm like amazing.
It
Thankful.
is.
Yeah, I'm glad that it has been treated with respect and I guess loved by people. So I think all the murals have been like that here in Wailuku. So yeah, it's been great.
Which it says a lot about our community and how much I think people who have nothing to do with the actual painting of all of the murals still feel this ownership. It's part of our, it's part of Wailuku, it's part of our community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that goes in all of everything that I've seen through my career. Um, I feel like the people have supported me ever since I either gone away to school and come back in that same vein where they are supportive and have taken almost like ownership of being a part of all of it. And rightfully so. I feel like we all do that, even with our sports teams and things like that. We kind of like cheer all of our people on. So I think it's in the same thing, same kind of thing.
I think that's a large part of it. Maui people um, do tend to have that that sense of we're all in this together, we're proud, we're supportive. But also, I think in your work in particular, your portraiture, your paintings are just, they're so real. You, like the little boy on the it's not the Trust building, but the one in Waibuku. You just feel, and also with the wall here, you feel like, gosh, I know that person. I mean, you're you have a way of touching people's hearts through your artwork.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Well, but it's
think-
true, isn't it? Like when you see a Kirk Kurokawa painting, it's, you know, it's better than a photograph, and it's almost like having that person, that being there with you.
Yeah.
Like we all have a relationship with your work.
Yeah, I think maybe, at least for me, while painting it, maybe that's why it comes across that way, is because when I paint anything, any portrait or mural, I think about the stories that that person might have had, what they've been through. And I think about that while I paint. And just like the DC Veterans Wall, I would listen to podcasts about the DC veterans while I was painting, or books. I would listen to the books in my on my phone and listen to their stories while I was painting, or interviews of these veterans while I was painting. So I was thinking about them the whole time. I mean, it's same with all the other minerals. I kind of go through research, and then either I find stories within that research, or I kind of make up my own story of what that kid might have been doing at that time. So I try to have that come across in my work, just by thinking about it while I'm painting. It's it's probably one of my favorite things in portraiture and painting, is hearing other people's stories and being able to tell those stories.
So you've been commissioned to do several very important official portraits of very important people. Do you do the same process there? Like, did you read biographies or?
Yes, yes. I don't know if all other portrait artists do this, but it has become my process, and I do a lot of research. I listen to interviews, um, or better, when they're here, I actually sit down and talk to them. Governor Abercrombie, I actually flew over, had lunch with him, talked to him. I think we had a number of talk story sessions, actually. And that's my favorite part, because I learn who they are. It's not just the guy on TV. That's what like, for most of us, we just see the guy on TV, these important guys, and you just think, oh, that's him. They're making this decision, blah, blah, blah. But when you sit down and talk to them, things change. You hear the person, the real person. Um, and it is rewarding for me, and actually comforting to hear their stories, and to see how they've gone through their lives, and how they've gotten to the positions that they have been. Um, really fun, really fun.
It's probably not an easy question to answer, but is there anyone that was your favorite for whatever reason?
Um, I can see with Governor Abercrombie, it was like an instant connection. So I don't. This is how I remember. I don't know if teacher remembers it like this, but I'm I'm super nervous. We're like in this interview. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll go back a
Sure.
little bit. So what has happened? I have been painting for a number of years. Um, Showing mainly commercial work, painting in galleries. And then I kind of just hit this wall where like I don't know if this is for me. And I actually stopped painting. I went to school to become a bicycle mechanic.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, so how old were you at this time when you hit the wall and you decided you're gonna fix bikes?
kind of old already. Because in my 30s, late 30s, I can't remember. 40s maybe? I had kids already. It's crazy. My credit to my wife. I just said I want to go do this, and she said okay, because she knew how much I was kind of struggling with it. Um. So, anyways, yeah, go to Portland, Oregon, take this class for a few weeks, become a bicycle mechanic. I moved back, or I didn't move back. I mean, I came back home, got a job, and I was doing fixing bicycles in Playa for a couple years. And crazy thing, it's like it rejuvenated me. I don't know what, like just not having to think about, you know, the difficulties of being an artist and just being able to fix bikes, talk to people, help people out was fantastic.
Work for somebody
Work
else?
for someone else. Um, Good thing my wife has a good job. Just to go let me do that kind of stuff. But it really saved my life, my career. And then I get a phone call. I'm in the parking lot at the bike shop. The State Foundation calls me. Hey, you want to come over for an interview for the governor's portrait? And I was like, wait, what? I applied. I know I applied for it, but I thought the time had come and gone. Like I was like, oh, I didn't get that. Like it's wow. So I was surprised. And then I said, sure, of course. And then I go interview, super nervous because I've never done that kind of thing before. I've done painted portraits, but it's mostly of my family and stuff like that. Nothing like that. I didn't no idea what I'm getting into. I didn't even know how much to charge for the thing. Um, Governor Abercrombie walks in and he just happy and he makes a joke about our stature. I'm short. He's short. And he just makes that joke and gives me a hug and then the rest is history, man. Like it just kind of like happened like that. Like I told my story, told him what I think I can do, and it was like that. It was just I don't know. Everything felt okay. I think they told me they're gonna let me go out, and make the decision. I called my wife and I was like, I think I got it. It was crazy. Um, Sorry, it makes me cry because it was like huge, from not painting to getting a huge opportunity. Um, and then I think it was that day they made a decision, um, which I think is pretty unusual that they make that decision that day. And they, um, it was just fantastic. And ever since then, like just their team is easy to work with. Governor Abercrombie just very forthcoming, just talking story, made it easy. Um, yeah, it was a great process and I learned a lot, met so many people. And that's basically the start of like my portrait career. And just I learned so much during that time.
Did he say something to you like, I want you to paint my portrait because you can see me at eye level? To look down to me.
Yes. I actually painted him looking up at him.
Oh,
So, yeah,
you must have applied for it before you went away to bike mechanic school.
could be. I don't fully remember when it came about, but I do remember it being like, I think it's way past the deadline already. I think that, yeah, I was sure it didn't happen.
During that time when you went to school and then came back and worked at the bike shop, were you painting at all? Like, just in your spare time?
Yeah, a little bit.
As not as a profession.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Why bicycle mechanic?
I've always loved bikes ever since I was a kid. I would work on my own bike and yeah, I've always loved bikes. Yes. It's just something that's a part of me too. So,
Have you painted portraits of bikes?
yeah, there's a few bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a family portrait. My whole family, everybody's on bikes.
Oh, nice. And you still do much biking?
A little bit here and there, but not so much to been busy with the kids and things like that. But yeah, a little bit.
So that definitely must have been your most memorable portrait assign. I mean, just in terms of what it meant to you in your life, if that's a landmark.
Yes, yes. It just because of like that drastic swing, of things, and I think my life is like that too. I don't know. You just kind of roll with it, and next thing you know, it's like I'm doing something else. Um, yeah, probably the most memorable, but all of those portraits have been fantastic. They all have their own merits and memorable parts of it. And I've been lucky too. Like, it's just been great people to work with.
Well, the of course, the portrait of Senator Inouye. Uh, and that was a fantastic story from start to finish.
Oh my gosh, it's almost the same kind of same thing. Just going about, this is how, like, I try to explain this to my wife about how things just kind of weird, how it just happens. It's just this things that one thing happens because of another thing. Just it's hard to have faith that those things are gonna happen because you don't know, but it happened. So Abercrombie happens. DJ ends up working at the Nisei Veteran Center. I run into a Sadie at her shop in Wailuku. Maui thing, we talk story, mentioned DJ about working at the Nisei Veteran Center. I was like, oh yeah. And at that time, Sadie was on the board. I was like, oh, let me know if you guys need anything, painting, whatever, help whatever I can. And then, what about a mural? Oh, yeah, okay, let's do it. 2 weeks later, we're talking about it. And then next thing you know, the mural's happening. Months later, years later, like, we actually finished. And then there's an event here when there's still the pavilion here, right over there. Jennifer Sawas from Danny Noy's team is here for, I think it was like all the state senators had a big meeting here on Maui. And it was like their ending potluck, or not potluck, lunch, or I don't know what it was. It was just kind of an event. And that's where I met Jennifer. And Tony Takitani was here. And Tony Takitani, emceed Governor Abercrombie's portrait unveiling. Tony's sitting here telling Jennifer, that's the guy. You need somebody to paint your painting. That's the guy. And that's how it happened. I gave Jennifer my card and say, you know, if yeah, let me know if I can help out, please let me know. A few months later, having a meeting here again with Jennifer and Senator Dan Inouye's wife. And they're telling me about the portrait. And I still don't know that I'm getting it. They don't really say it until like kind of partway through. And they're like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like absolutely nutso. You know, going from painting this mural to just meeting people through the process. And then you're gonna ask me to paint like the biggest hero of Hawaii that ever was. Is, I don't know how you can, that is like dream stuff. Like I would have never said that, oh, that's who I want to paint. Because it's like, what? You know, like that's unreal. But that's how that happened. Like just random stuff. I feel like just things that happen, being at the right place, meeting the right people, having Tony sitting over here, that's the guy.
That sounds like Tony. But also being the right person. Because I know having, I interviewed you a couple years ago about the whole process and how it came about. And I know that Mrs. Inouye had a number of artists, well-known artists, experienced official portraiture artists to consider, but decided on you. And because she knew that you would be able to really do the best possible rendition. And you did, but there's more to the story, right?
Which part?
After you finished the portrait and it was going to be sent on to, it had to go to Washington
Oh.
DC.
Yes. Well, yeah. So yes, the long process, COVID, insurrection, being crazy, not so, I, nothing you can ever expect. But we finished the portrait. Um, get it created up and getting it ready to send out. And I have I have worked with the same person that creates my artwork my whole career. He came out of retirement to create the painting. And his warehouse is in Lahaina. And the fires happened, but it didn't cross my mind immediately, but later it did. And I text him and it's okay. It got out like, the day before. It was like it was this whole process of how they kept track of it the whole way, the government, the curators from Washington made sure everything they have it all planned out. And then, so they knew it was safe. But at the time, it was just nerve-wracking that it was like that close to being history. Yeah.
It flew out the August 7th or something like that, right? The
Something
day
like that,
before
the day before.
the fires. And up until then, it had been in Lahaina at the warehouse.
Yes. Yes. So just, yeah, crazy. Yeah. But it made it. And it was great. Fantastic unveiling and all of that was,
You got to be there for the unveiling
Mhm.
in DC.
yeah. Jan was there, Tony was there. That's awesome. It was, like for me, it was really fun, and it was kind of sad too because I enjoyed every bit of it. I enjoyed every bit of the process. I enjoyed the people that I worked with in Hawaii and in Washington, and to see the amount the curators there are top notch, and to see the people that have that kind of passion for their jobs like was really inspiring to me. Um, so I enjoyed every bit of working with through that process with them. Um, and I was just mostly, I think the most enjoyment I had was just seeing my kids, kind of just seeing it all. Yeah, it was really great. And my littlest one is like going around talking to all these senators, like to the one who he's talking to, and like these dudes are like super important, and he's going over there shaking their hands and telling them, "My name's Bob." His name is not Bob. His name is Masa. They all think my son's name is Bob.
Sounds like a little Torita Kitani.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of passion, for what you do, you mentioned, Jan was there, and I just want to acknowledge Jan Sato is sitting in the audience here, and she was your art teacher at Baldwin High School, right?
Yes, at Baldwin High School and grade school. I remember maybe seventh or eighth grade. I painted a surfer, and it was in the county fair.
Oh,
Yeah, won a blue ribbon.
I'm not surprised. When did you realize that, when did you realize that you were a talented artist?
Oh, I don't know. I've always drawn. I knew I could. I knew I was good at it. I wasn't a very good student. Jan could tell you, like I wasn't a very good student in general, but I wasn't sure where I was gonna go and do later on in life, college. I had no idea. Um, but I think that just growing up, maybe I had an inkling that I was artistically inclined. My mom put me in a lot of art classes as well, so she saw something. Yes. Uh, so that I think that fostered a lot of my artistic goals in life. Kind of like it helped me move along.
Were you one of those kids that would draw during class and maybe put little pictures in the margins of your
Yes.
essays
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would. I think I got in trouble a few times drawing on the desks. The desks are like that fake wood,
Mm.
easy to erase. So I would do it, and then you just wipe it off. But yeah, I did draw a lot. That's part of the reason why I wasn't the best student. But I did do all that.
But you knew at a very early age then that this was what you wanted to do with the rest of your life, or
Yes,
did
no,
you?
I think I didn't really realize that you could make a living at it. I didn't know exactly how I would do that. But just in later in life is when I kind of figured out that I could do something with it. Um, I don't know. I think I figured that out maybe like later, even in high school, I wasn't even sure what I was gonna do.
If you didn't get into art as your profession, your career, what do you think you would have done?
Fix bikes.
Oh, and you've done it.
Probably that. Really, it's like my next big favorite thing that I like. I love is bikes.
That's so interesting because they seem like two different parts of your brain in some ways. I mean, fixing a bike, mechanics,
Yeah.
it's very, there's a
Be good with
certain
your
way to
hands,
do it,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas with art, that's the creative side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes that's the hardest part though, is the creative side because your mind is somewhere else. Um, I think that I've learned a lot in just growing up more as an adult about that, about like the co-creative. You're thinking. I feel like I was always kind of this misfit, kind of just did my own thing growing up. Like in grade school, everybody's in band, right? In Hawaii, everybody joins the band. You go on a class trip. I was not in band. I took art, like one of maybe two kids that was in the art class. Everybody went on a band trip. It was just me in the art class. And that's kind of how I always went up what it was. I don't know. That's how it always was. I just kind of decided to do my thing. And even if I was like the lone guy, I just did that.
Well, that's remarkable because, it's so easy. I mean, it's more common for kids to give into the peer pressure. I mean, even if you don't care about music or band, they're going to join the band because all their friends are. And for you to say, no, this is what I enjoy doing, so I'm going to do it even if it's just me.
Yeah.
Your fascination with bikes was around the same time, same age as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever, because I knew one kid growing up who was very mechanically gifted, but his thing was um, he would put together bikes from parts of various and build these crazy creations. You ever do that? Combine the creative
Yeah.
part with the
Yes, not as a kid though, actually. I've done it like as older. We find parts and put things together. Yes. But yeah, I mean I did fix a lot of bikes as a kid though. Well, yeah, yeah. It is creative when you think about it that way. You can be very creative with a bike.
you can
Yeah.
you can come up with your own. Do you ride e-bikes?
I do. Yeah.
Do you
Not
like
well these kind nowadays it's crazy though. They're super
it
fast.
is crazy, yeah. But there's something so I don't know, organic or just with an
With
old fashioned
yes.
soul bike
Yeah. Yeah, there is. I mean,
and hypnotic, I think.
yeah. That's the part that I like about writing bikes. It's like you kind of just you're in your own brain, in your own mind, just thinking about anything, pedaling away. So it's good. I wish we had more of it here. Like I was just in Japan, man, they're awesome. There's like everybody's riding, whole families riding bikes together. Going to school or whatever, like whole families and old dudes ripping on bikes, like like wow, these guys are. It's fantastic, fantastic to see.
I know there are people who have been working for years trying to establish bikeways and bike paths
Yes.
all over the island, and we
Yes.
certainly have more than we did
Mhm.
back when I was growing up, for sure. Do you use the bike paths, the
Yeah.
bikeways?
Yes, I have. I have. Yeah, I think it's a great thing. Um, I think it would have it having more of them would be great, but it really basically comes down to just having more bikes on the road than other automobile operators, drivers would be more aware of cyclists. I think that's the big thing. Is when people aren't aware, that's when things can go wrong.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
is pretty scary. I always get nervous when I see, um, because a lot of the bike paths or lanes they kind of merge into the,
Yeah.
you know, when you come to an intersection, and it always makes me nervous. I'm scared to ride a bike on,
Yes.
on,
Me too.
anything
Yeah.
larger than my neighborhood street.
Yes. Yeah. Right. It's just not, it's not as integrated as it is, like say, Tokyo, Japan in general, like, you know, where it's an everyday thing. Like, so people are aware of it because it's there all the time. It's not, we don't have it as, it's not as prevalent here. Um, but maybe one day.
We may be forced to go in that direction
Yeah.
before long. I'm noticing your tattoos. I didn't realize you had some. Did you design your own tattoos?
Some of them. Some of them have, some are just done by other artists. It's like collecting artwork too. It's what it is.
Do they have significance, or are they just in terms of, oh, I like how that looks?
Some of it's like that. Some of it has significance. Some of it is just, yeah, just like the way that looks, or you appreciate someone's artwork, and then that's what you are you're purchasing, or you know, your appreciation of their artwork. It's like that.
The ones that you've designed yourself, though, and I would assume you did so because it had, for whatever significance or meaning. But you didn't do the actual inking yourself.
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be tough. No, I don't know if I could take it.
You grew up on,
Yes,
in Waibuku area?
Kahului. Went to Lehigh High School before Lehigh High was just elementary. It was like 1 through or K to 8.
K through 8. Oh, I went to the Hikai school too. But only 7th and 8th grade, because I went to Makoa school until, you know, the trees in front,
Mhm.
the one closest to the cafeteria, the one that fell over during the big storm. And then they actually pruned off all the branches. It used to be the biggest tree. And then after the storm, it was the smallest because we hacked them. I planted them. 8th grade year, I was student body president, and it was Arbor Day. And all of us got to plant. We had the sixth and, no, yeah, 7th and 8th grade class representatives. And then the secretary, and we didn't have a treasurer because we didn't have any money. You know, and the vice president planted one, and I got to plant one all by myself because every time I do this. That's my dream. It's grown back. It's
Yeah.
almost the biggest one again. So I hope you, you know, climbed that tree when you were there at the Hikai School. So the Hikai School,
Baldwin.
and then you went to,
I did go to the Maui College for 1 year. Um, and then they decided to go to art school, California College of the Arts in San Francisco, and Oakland. There are 2 campuses, but it's 1 school.
and how long were you there?
4 years. But I ended up staying in the Bay Area and in Los Angeles until 2000-ish. Actually had no intention of moving home. No intent. I loved it there. Like I feel like, you know, like in college you just learn a lot. You kind of find your path, your people too. Um, so I had no intention of moving back, but art's hard. Making a living in art is hard. And back then, you know, the internet was just in its infancy. So to get work, you have to send like postcards to art directors, you know, and like just wait. You know, like, oh, please, somebody call me. Um, very hard to make a go. You have to be very ambitious and kind of think outside the box to really make a go at it. And I now looking back on it, I probably wasn't that great of a thinker in terms of thinking outside the box, how being ambitious to go and get that work. You know, I kind of just did what they told me to do to try and get work. And I was probably like a million of other people trying to get work too. So, you know, I never made it as a freelance illustrator.
I think artists of all types have that problem. It's two different things. Pursuing your art and then marketing it,
Yes.
being the agent or the, yeah.
Yeah. I think art is very different from other professions because of that, like you know, marketing yourself. It's your creativity. It's your thoughts. So you're almost all in from the get-go because it's yours, right? Your heart is in it. And then to try and sell that is hard. And then there's this whole mind game of like, how come it's not selling? Am I not good enough? Is like my thoughts not good enough? It's
Sure, that's a
You-
natural
yes.
reaction.
yeah, it's hard to get over that hump as an artist.
Would have been worse if you took band and decided to be a professional musician.
Yeah,
You know,
I could.
that's hard too. So is that what brought you back to Maui? The fact that you felt,
Because I couldn't make it.
well, you had, because it was so challenging
Yes,
making a living there.
yes, that is why. So I hadn't been home for a number of years. And then I just decided, you know, one Christmas, I'm gonna just come home. And then while I was home, a family friend commissioned a painting. And just so happens it was just enough to like move all my stuff back. That what I made off that painting. So I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna move back, regroup, and then decide, you know, am I gonna go back for my master's degree or am I gonna go get another degree, something else? But I wasn't staying home. And then I never left. Yeah. So yeah, that was I was just coming back to regroup.
Did you meet your wife here?
Yes.
That's
Through
probably a
Jan
big
Sato.
reason.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Wow, Jan Sato has influenced your life in a number of ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever painted her portrait?
I did a little one, yeah, like a tiny painting. It was like it was a nice, it was a, so I used to do classes. I would teach like a couple day class with her AP kids, the kids that were really good, that were ambitious and they like loved art. And I would do it every, no, few years. But this one group of kids, this were all of them were great kids. And they like commissioned me to do these paintings, little paintings for her.
Oh,
So I did a bunch, I did a portrait of each kid and a portrait of Jan. And these little ones that I made, it makes a series of paintings.
oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, she's smiling and nodding. I'm sure you still have it.
Tradition, but I felt bad because they gave him a small window of time to do it, and I think maybe collected like $20 or so for whatever, so the commission wasn't.
Oh,
It was very appreciated.
you got the student discount. Did you ever consider teaching art as a profession?
Not really. I did teach at Baldwin a year or two ago, thinking that that might be something that I would do, that might open up other doors. And no, it's not for me. I just felt like, you know, it's not anything, no, nothing negative really about it. Just I'm not sure if I affected the kids how I thought I was gonna affect them, like, teaching. And I feel like just from what I have done in the last few years that, I think what I'm doing actually affects more people, in a positive way. So that's was my main kind of decision, just talking it over with my wife. And I think I'm on the right path of just doing what I'm doing. Cause I feel like I actually reach more people that way. And not in terms of like selling paintings, reach more people, just telling stories kind of thing.
And
Yeah.
enriching people's lives. Because you cannot pass by a Kirk Kurokawa mural or painting without feeling something warm, or at least that's how I remember when my mom and I would take my mom out for rides on Sunday afternoon or whatever, and we passed by, you were doing the painting of the child, and it's like Ohia blossom, or it was something
Mhm.
red caught our eye. And so we pulled over by the old Hawaiian Tel office, and we just sat and watched you. And I don't know if you even knew anybody was watching, but and my mom said, "Oh, it looks so real," and it just brought a smile to us. And every time I pass by that, I smile.
Good, good.
Thank you for that. Do your children exhibit any inclination toward art in any form?
Yeah, my oldest, excuse me, my oldest is actually pretty creative, but I don't think he has an interest in art necessarily. Um, but he has a creative mind, which I think is great.
Is that
I think
Masa?
that's Mason.
Okay.
Yeah, Mason. My daughter is a math whiz.
Ah,
Very, very. I mean, I can't even understand what she's doing. She's past me. But my youngest, Masa, Bob. Oh my gosh, that kid draws all the time. So he'll just go around taking pictures, like we're in Japan, like, can I use your phone? And he'll take a picture of something just to go draw it later.
wow.
So he he has what I have. He kind of sees things differently, creative. He loves to draw.
He enjoys
He
it.
enjoys it. Yeah.
Are you going to guide him, teach him, put him in art classes like your mom did, or are you just going to watch and see what he
No,
develops?
my plan was kind of just to watch and see. If he wants to, yeah, we can put him in art classes and things like that. I think that it's good. Um, Honestly, I've told people this before, like, I don't want my kids doing art. It's like too hard. I mean, I just feel like I'm super lucky. I, what I have been able to do in my art career is, I don't know, it's like crazy and amazing. And I don't even know how I did it. Just by chance, meet the right people, work hard, and maybe even if you work hard, you might not even.
That's not a guarantee.
Yeah. And like we talked about that mind, creative mind, and how it plays this game in your head, like it's hard to deal with
Sure it is.
because it's your heart, it's your soul, it's your mind, and there's this up and down of it. And if you don't have the right people around you or the right mindset to be determined enough to get past that, it's very difficult. And I would rather my kids go do something where they don't have to deal with that. But if that's their path, then that's their path, and then you just gotta hit it head on and do the best. But you have to be determined and think positively to get over that hump. You have to believe in yourself and other people.
Mhm.
And I think that's the main thing. Is if you let the negative thoughts creep in, then it's tough.
I think it's obvious whatever your children decide they want to do, or whenever they find their passion and their path, that they'll have very supportive parents. You can see that you're there to, you better teach Masa how to fix bikes. Just in case. I think we're down to just a few more minutes. And I'm going to ask if anybody has questions, a burning question that they would like to ask Kirk. Yes,
Are your governor's portraits in the Capitol here at the state?
Yes. Yes. Governor Ige's portrait should be hung there soon.
how was that? Did you go through lunch and interviews with him too?
Yep.
He's not
Um,
quite as funny as Abercrombie.
Yeah.
But a very nice person.
Yes. I think we didn't have lunch, but we did meet in his office, the conference room, and see, that's this one for sure. Like what you see on TV, not necessarily that guy. It, it really, like, once I started talking to him and hearing his story, like, this guy's okay. Like, two different people, Abercrombie, Ige,
Mhm.
two very, very different people. But when you come down to that essence of what their goal is, what they want, same. They just want the best for Hawaii.
Yes.
Like, that is like what I learned, like, just in our first few minutes of our conversation. It was like, no matter what differences they were trying to do what they think is the best for Hawaii.
Yes,
Yeah.
both very, very
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
I had the great honor of sitting down and doing much like this, a talk story with Governor Ige, thanks to the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. It was part of the leadership
Yeah.
series. And I felt the same, you know, because I had this image of Governor Ige and but oh my gosh, and what a, you know, he never set out to be a politician. Yeah, he was just kind of pushed into it, and but like you say, that he truly wants to what's best for Hawaii. Um, I got him to talk pidgin. That tickled my mom. Oh, you gotta do those pidgin. She got to show him her tattoos. That was an even bigger thrill.
Yeah.
Hers aren't as elaborate as yours. So they will be hanging Governor Ige's portrait soon.
Yes. Just got unveiled not too long ago.
Exciting. Are there more in your future, your near future? Do you have any special commissions you can tell us about?
No, I don't have anything right now. I mean, I do have a few private commissions that I'm working on right now, but nothing like that. Big governor portraits, nothing like that yet. Um, but hopefully, things come about. There may be things that, who knows? I'm just riding the wave.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much. I have, oh, yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't want to.
No, go ahead, please.
So I have a question for you, Kirk. What is it, was it easier for you to paint, um, Governor Abercrombie's portrait because he's living, you got to meet him, talk to him versus, Senator Inouye, who had already passed? And of course, you could read about him and get information from the close people around. So does that make a difference?
It does make a difference. You know, it's, usually I work from my own photographs. So I can kind of, get what I need because I know what I'm looking for when I'm taking photographs of the person that I'm painting. With Senator Inouye, I was kind of like, just stuck with what other people have taken. Huge archive, of course, like there's tons of photos of him. And watching video. So the video kind of is the next best thing too, because I'm kind of trying to look at their features in space, right? Like what it looks like from one angle to the other angle and seeing all the way around. It's not just like in that portrait, like in the portrait, you just see one angle, but I want to see what it looks like from all different angles. So I know exactly what it looks like just from that one angle. I'm using all the information I can get. So it was harder. But somehow it worked out, I think. I'm pretty confident it worked out just because a lot of Senator Inouye's staffers at the unveiling were just really happy with how it turned out. And his expression and all of that. I feel like they felt like it was spot on. So I'm confident that I got it, but it definitely is more difficult. Yeah. And then of course I didn't get the chance to actually speak to him and hear like his story from him straight from him, but I, watched tons of interviews. So I do, of course, like a lot of us know his story. So I did go back and watch a lot of video and got that kind of information.
And I thought it was interesting that the people who were commissioning you to do Senator Inouye's portrait, they said they wanted the Maile and the Limaland, certain things in the portrait too, which I thought. So
Yes.
they guided you, I mean, they had an idea of
Yeah,
some things that.
Yes.
In the portrait.
like all the portraits are, they all have that, and it's all kind of like this collaboration actually between the governors, senator, and their team of people. It's a collaboration of what they want to see, or what they think they want to see. And then like with Senator Inouye's one too, you also have to deal with the Senate and their requirements and the Senate curators. So they had input as well. So yeah,
Your comment on, you learned a lot.
Yeah.
That's an illustration right
Yeah.
there. Thank you.
This was the same, I'm sorry.
Well, that's question follow. Did his widow have any input
yes,
after? I mean, as you were finishing it? Did she get a chance to preview it and say, that's not quite, or yes, I love it, or?
unfortunately, she had passed
Oh.
in the process of it being painted. Yeah.
Kathy.
That was a sad part of it. But
So I know we're running out of time, but because everybody is here and as they leave, they're going to see the portrait, the mural downstairs. I just wanted to see if you could speak to how you decided upon the photographs, the images to put on the wall, and if there's anything special people can be looking for that might be a little secret extra addition you put on the,
Did you meet any of them?
None that were in the photos, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So the way I went about choosing those, I went through a bunch of archives. Amazing archives here.
Thank you, Melanie.
Yeah. And going through all of that, seeing photo albums and, it was really amazing to see what they did. And the notes that they took, really great to see all of that. And that was part of the process of going through all of those things. And finding imagery that I felt like was gonna be striking, larger on the wall, but also being respectful. And not necessarily war, but life. We wanted life. Like, how did they live? Riding trains that, like peeling potatoes, that kind of life. Those are the everyday things. So that's what I was looking for, was life. And okay, and trying to be positive too, not have a negative connotation to any of it, but having it being more uplifting. And also, and like just black and white photos, fantastic for compositions as well. So that was the easy part, actually, is just going through those and looking for good compositions. And Easter eggs. Easter eggs is, so I have my family bone, and that is painted, not in all of my paintings, but most of them. You can go and find my mom in my paintings. Sometimes it's super, super tiny. Sometimes it's a little larger.
There's a bicycle in the mural.
There's a bicycle in there. You know I had to put bicycle. Yeah, so they're my mom's there's a bunch of them in there. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but all of the governor portraits and Senator Noyes portrait has hidden bones in it.
Oh, I gotta go back and take a look now.
Nobody knows.
I do want to add that because of the incredible archives here, it's not just photos and stuff. You got to look at personal memorabilia. You mentioned writings, letters,
Mhm.
things like that, personal items that have been donated by the families to the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. So that must have helped a lot in shaping your perception of each of these heroes.
Yes. Yeah, hearing their stories, like, what's really, I don't know why it's really striking to me, but it always is. When I look through those photos, it's like, that could have been me. I mean, it's that you see them and it just reminds me of like, it's just like how we were. And what makes me think, there's no way I can do that. I don't know. That's what I thought. It's like, I don't know how. Because I can't even imagine myself going to say, okay, I'm going, like,
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing story. Even the internment camps, like, I don't know how amazing.
I think
Truly
it's,
heroic, right?
Heroic.
One more thing on the mural that probably most people know, not only your mom, but your whole family is in.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Which is just beautiful. It's just lovely. So at the far end of the mural, you'll see the family. looking back at all of these heroes, and look, I just got more chicken skin. We just got the beyond 1 minute, so Deidre's gonna have to do some editing to get the YouTube version down to exactly an hour. But was there any comments that you wanted to make? Anything you wanted to share that we have not covered?
Um, no, other than, just, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I could say because of all how my career and ups and downs and struggles, and quitting and then coming back. I feel like the thing that really has helped later in my career is actually being focused on doing things that feel right to me. And that I feel like I learned when Governor Abercrombie's portrait. From that point on, it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do things that feel right to me. That felt right. The Inouye Veterans Mural felt right. And somehow I have gone through this last few bits of paintings and portraits with that in mind, and I feel like I have kind of found more of myself, and I have thrived more successfully in my mind because of that. You do what you feel is right, and not necessarily thinking about what you can gain from something. It's not about, oh, they're gonna see this and I'm gonna get that. Like, I, I don't even think about money. Like, people think I'm crazy, but I don't take a job just because how much money they offer me. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. Do I feel good about it? That's my number one. If I feel good, if it's gonna do good for people, that's where I'm going. And I think everybody should kind of go about like that in life. It's like, do you feel good about it? Is it gonna help other people? Then that's what you should do.
Then that's what you should
Yeah.
do. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Kirk. This has been. Thank you to our audience and Melanie and Deidre and Kyle for setting up the audio and all of that. As Deidre said, in about a week, you'll be able to go to the YouTube of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center YouTube channel and re-watch this over and over again. Oh boy. Thank you so much to the NDMC for making Yakamashii possible and part of the series. And our next one is, wow, this is October already, so
26.
January, February,
Mhm.
2020. This is our last one of the year. Wow. Well, I'm honored that you were our final Yakamashii guest for 2025. Thank you all so much for joining us. And don't forget, magnets and note cards are back there. And he did promise to sign if you would like to. Thank you. Thank you.